killing Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, it's not happening in a vacuum. John Avlon with a reality check.
We talk a lot about how the Republican Party has become dangerously extreme, and we're wary of giving too much oxygen to attention-seeking trolls masquerading as legislators. But sometimes the patterns can't be ignored. So I want to highlight 3 comments from 3 elected Republicans that surfaced within 24 hours, because it shows the moral gangrene that's disfiguring the party beholden to Donald Trump's big lie. On Sunday night, Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar posted a photoshopped anime video showing himself killing Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and attacking President Biden. You know, just like any well-balanced, totally normal 62-year-old millions of times. But that's a measure of the real problem, which is the continued fetishizing of political violence 10 months after the attack on our Capitol by backers of the big lie, like Congressman Paul Gosar. There's a 0% learning curve here from the party that continues to coddle him. But if threatening to murder your coworkers isn't a deal breaker in today's GOP, you'd think that praising the Nation of Islam might be, after all the oxygen spent denouncing them. But in an epic example of how the enemy of my enemy is my friend logic could lead to some really bad places, the big lie backing QAnon-curious Congresswoman from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, got her Monday morning started with a tweet storm praising the Black Muslim separatist organization for sharing her anti-vaccine beliefs. Quote, "The Nation of Islam is also strongly against the COVID-19 vaccines," Greene tweeted. "The Nation of Islam sees the use and benefit of inframycin and is very angry that our media, Democrats, and Dr. Fauci have attacked the drug. We have common ground there." She also praised the group's opposition to childhood vaccines, approvingly quoting their leader, Louis Farrakhan, for saying that vaccine mandates are a declaration of war. Now, it's probably a complete coincidence that Greene found common cause with the notoriously anti-Semitic Farrakhan after her talk of Jewish space lasers and persistent Nazi comparisons for COVID vaccination efforts. But given that House Republicans introduced a resolution in 2018 condemning Farrakhan for promoting ideas that create animosity and anger towards Jewish Americans and the Jewish religion, I'm wondering whether Greene will get the same clear rebuke or whether this crazy is just considered baked in the cake, even as October COVID deaths spiked more than 3 times higher in counties that Trump overwhelmingly won. Anti-vaxxers are literally dying right now to own the libs. All of this comes on the heels of Texas Senator Ted Cruz picking a fight with Sesame Street's Big Bird over childhood vaccines, mistaking PSAs for propaganda. While The Hill published a report Monday night on Cruz's musings about Texas seceding from the Union. Quote, "We're not there yet," Cruz said, "but if there comes a point where it's hopeless, then I think we take NASA, we take the military, we take the oil." Guess he's given up any hope of becoming president of the United States and instead aiming to become president of Texas. But seriously, this is a U.S. senator talking about secession, which of course caused a civil war in which 750,000 Americans died, approximately the same number of Americans who've died during this pandemic. Any one of these insane incitements might just be dismissed as crazy person says crazy thing. But taken together in reports from a single 24-hour period, and you can see why we have a problem here, the nuts are being normalized to the point where it can seem like part of the scenery. And the GOP needs to take responsibility, because there's no room for false equivalency here. The steady stream of incitement translates to things like a poll showing that 30% of Republicans believe that violence might be needed to save the United States. It leads to messages like this, left on Republican Congressman Fred Upton's phone, for the alleged sin of voting for a bipartisan infrastructure bill, which he aired last night on AC 360.
Hope you die. Hope your family dies. Hope everybody in your staff dies. You piece of traitor.
Yeah, all this apocalyptic rhetoric has an impact. It's evidence of a sickness in our politics, and it's got to stop before even more damage is done to our democracy. And that's your reality check.
A sickness indeed. John Avlon, thank you very much.